Today is going to be a big day. Okay, so today starts the 2-day hearing about Harry and the possible court costs that he's up against. This is going to be massive, I suspect. He could be on the hook for so much money after his total defeat against the Daily Mail, and I'm here for it. And I'm going to talk about that. And I want to talk about this push from Meghan in the media. There's a couple articles that have come out that I just want you to get your eyeballs on. I want to tell you what I think is going on. I want to dive into all of it while we wait for the news about Harry and what's going on there. Hey guys, welcome back to RHR Jen. I'm so glad you're here. Guys, I have such a good show for you. I'm going to be reminding you what's going on today and tomorrow with Harry and the legal of it all. I'm going to be talking about and showing you the articles that I believe Meghan is putting out in the media. And I'm going to talk about my reaction to all of it and your reaction. And we're going to read some of your comments and what's the goose up. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Jen. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the thumbs up, and leave me comments, as all those helps YouTube to recommend my videos. I sincerely appreciate that, and I appreciate all of you. Can I just start with a holy cow? I'm about to hit 5 million views in the last 28 days. That's incredible. That is because of you all your comments, your thumbs up, your hypes. Sincerely, thank you all for that. But I'm so excited to dive into this episode, starting with what today is, the Harry of it all. Oh my gosh, I don't normally get that excited about that. You know what, Prince? But I want to show you what's happening in case you didn't know, or in case you're a little confused as to what's going on. Prince Harry's legal team is back in London's High Court for a 2-day post-trial hearing on July 29th and July 30th, following the dismissal of his privacy lawsuit against Associated Newspapers Limited. So, as you know, John Witherspoon, friend of the show, and I talked about this and what it meant and how badly and stunningly Harry lost this case and how long it's been going on, all the things, right? So go back and find that if you missed it. But today I'm telling you what's going on in High Court. And as soon as we have information, I've already spoken to John Witherspoon. He will be around to help me break this down. I cannot wait to find out what happens here. So know that I'm on it and I'm paying attention, and just check back lots, because when that comes out, we'll get on and record. I'm so excited to find out. But let's see here. So the purpose, of course, was to resolve remaining consequential orders, legal costs, and disputes after Judge Matthew Nicklin dismissed the claims on July the 7th. Now, the context, A&L is seeking to recover a significant portion of its estimated, it'd be 40 to 50 million pounds, which is 67 million in legal costs, following the ruling that claimants failed to prove unlawful information gathering. So I can't wait to see how this plays out, who owes what, how that's going to break down. I'm so excited. I know John Witherspoon had some thoughts on this. When he's on, we'll ask him what he thinks is going to happen. I just can't wait to hear. I can't wait. I'm so excited. But again, I will be covering that. So as soon as we get more information, check back to the channel for more about that. So they are expected to start around 10:30 BST, which would be around 3:30 p.m. my time. So again, I don't know that we'll hear anything today. It's supposed to be today and tomorrow. And as soon as I know, you'll know. All right. So, attended. So they don't know that Prince Harry or any other of the claimants, such as Sir Elton John and others, will be there. They think that it will be a lawyer meeting, but I am excited to find out. I almost hope Harry's there, because one, I want him to have to sit through it. And two, he always says really dumb things in court. So, I mean, he immediately lost the case and said dumb things. So I can't wait to see what happens there. Okay, so just check back for that. I just wanted to let you know what's happening today. Now let's get into some of these articles that are coming out, because there's lots of stuff going on with this. Starting with, let's start here. Have you seen this? Okay. This is just one article, but there are several variations of this going around. They've just come out, and it's like, this one's courtesy of Express, and it says, Meghan Markle turned the tables on Prince Harry in preparation for major career boost. Don't strain your eyes from rolling too hard. I know. All right. So I read it, so you don't have to. Oh my goodness gracious. So Basically, it's a classic anonymous source close to Meghan, that claims she feels she's done her bit helping Harry with the United Kingdom trip. Now, she wants him to stop focusing on the royal battles. What did I just say? Battles, and prioritize her US career moment. What moment is that? What are we talking about? A guest appearance on MasterChef does not a career make. Okay. Emmy nomination for, so it's all about that Emmy nomination with Love Meghan. It's framed as a huge boost and renewed momentum. How? Nobody can make sense of that out of that. It's a reminder for all of us that that show was canceled, and I don't think Netflix had very much good things to say about it, and it didn't make it very high. The ratings were terrible. Okay, so not many people watched it. And the ones that did were probably like me, that were just watching to see the train wreck and then talked about, man, that was a train wreck. Okay. So again, it's about her renewed momentum, because if she says it enough, she believes that that will manifest it, I suppose. She's got a lot going on. She's very busy and important and wants us all to know it. She wants her needs to take precedence for a while. When do they not? When is H in charge of anything? Okay. Classic, I don't know, Meghan language, Meghan speak, that word salad crap, designed to make her look like the successful one calling the shots. So with that, I did pull some of the comments just directly under the article because I thought you could see what people are saying. I find it funny. So again, this is a very pro Meghan article. So you'd think that the comments under there will be like, yeah, girl boss. No, not at all. Let me show you. Starting with this one, the Emmy nomination is a joke. Google how shows get a nomination. It has not been sanctioned for official inclusion. All this talk about how honored she is to get this nod is ridiculous. I find it extra funny with a reminder that Prince William's, it was the show he was involved with, got a nom specifically from because they submitted the episode that he was in, that traveler show. I can't remember the name of it. Was it Traveler Show with Eugene Levy? And so that got a nom for an actual Emmy. And then this one, of course, is a daytime Emmy. I find that especially funny. Okay. All information and material gathering for their next big project for a program on the 30th anniversary of the death of Diana. Those who welcomed and engaged with them on the recent visit will probably find their words and comments in the show. That's it. That's what I believe as well. I think that they really don't have anything else. So it wouldn't shock me if we saw, I'm just speculating, but if we saw them try to put out some sort of documentary to try to get themselves back in the role of filmmaker, I guess, or producer, something like that, and try to get themselves some awards and some more attention. How else? By riding Diana's coattails. I want her to come back and haunt them and say, enough. Okay. Why does Meghan reportedly want a change of focus? Is it because she is so unliked and therefore not making enough money? I suspect something like this. And by the way, these comments are just in order under this article. They're not cherry picked. They are just there. And I find that especially funny because I would understand that if this article skewed away from Meghan. This one skews toward Meghan, like, yeah, she's finally, she's having a comeback, resurgence, whatever it was. And these are the comments underneath. I find that especially funny. I don't know about you. Nominated for an Emmy? That's hilarious, right? Maybe she could talk to her dad about how that's done because he had multiple Emmys. She's probably going for the coveted EGOT, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. Sure. Good luck with that. We'll see how that plays out. I think it's funny that even with all of this, Netflix, as I understand it, thanked or publicly acknowledged a lot of the shows or the, stars that got different Emmy noms, but I don't believe there was a mention about this show or about Meghan. I think that says a lot right there. They're not exactly standing behind this project? Simple question. Who nominated M's flop show for an Emmy? Great question. Now, a lot of speculation there from you guys saying, well, and I kind of think I'm in this camp. What does Netflix have to lose? Meaning they've already had headaches from this. They've already put the money and the time into this flop. Let's see if we can get something back out of it. Something. Emmy award for what? They mean nothing. Absolutely. Can I submit? I'm just thinking I hadn't thought this out. I'm just saying it off the cuff. Can I submit for an Emmy? How do I get an Emmy? How funny would that be? If a channel that talks about their shenanigans somehow got an Emmy, there's got to be something for entertainment, right? How can I get one of those? That would be amazing. Okay. I would dedicate it to my flock. She nominated it herself and paid the bill. We'll say a big fat allegedly, but that's the rumblings I'm hearing. I think that's especially funny if that is the case. We'll see. How can an Emmys nomination carry a level of recognition? That is such a great question, and mine as well. The act of being nominated when your show has been canceled and it, from all appearances, most programs, minus an odd reality show, really don't seem to want to have a lot to do with you. How does that equal momentum? I don't know. I can't answer that. Only Harry and Meghan logic can answer that, right? With her overblown ego, that could be on the cards. I don't know. I'm saying that a lot because I truly don't. I think this is so funny. I don't know why. I'm just finding this whole thing so funny. There was a time where I would have been mad about stuff, but this is just funny to me. It really is. I want to see what happens. I think this is all just distractions because, as I suspect, I think Harry is about to have his, you know what, handed to him in court. So Meghan is scrambling to get articles like this out because usually her pattern seems to be to disappear when H is in trouble of his own making or his own causing or their own causing. And so he's out there and she disappears. And believe me, I'm not saying he's great. He sucks, but I'm saying it is funny. It is really fun. I think back to Spare, and this is just my opinion. Is my opinion that she helped him write the book. And then when he caught so much flack, rightly so, she was like, remember, she was gone for a very long time. So I suspect he's about to have his, you know what, handed to him, and she will be gone. And I find that funny as well. All right, let's take a look at another article people are talking about. And it is this one. It is from The Cut. Now, The Cut has an interesting history with Harry and Meghan. Of course, we got that original article. There's been a couple about them in there, but it's been that original one that she thought was pro Meghan, and then turns out the reporter's like, nah. All right. That's actually one. What's funny is before I even realized that this was out, I referenced that article recently and how that's the one where the writer said something like Meghan seems to have a producer in her head at all times. Never have true words been spoken. I think so too, except for it's not a good producer. It's a bad one. And instead of giving her actual, I don't know, quality direction, it's more of the worst possible solution at every turn. So I find that funny. But this article is very short. I just wanted you to get your eyeballs on it because people are talking about it. Prince Harry FaceTime into MasterChef Australia. By the way, okay, so I watched it on my Patreon. Check that out if you're interested. I watched it. Not the whole episode. I can't. I watched parts of it, and I watched the FaceTime, and it was the most over-the-top, sycophantic BS I've ever seen. It was like he called, she pretended to be surprised. It was clearly on screen record, and it didn't even appear to be her phone because it was production that brought up a phone and said, there's a phone call for you. And she's like, what? In the middle of judging food. In fact, what bothered me about that is not even, I mean, it's stupid that he called, but I figure that's probably part of the deal. They don't want her without him, which is funny. Oh, I hope that's the case because that would really chap her ass. But I just think it's funny the over the top pretend acting, like pretend play, like, oh, my husband. She referred to him never by his name. He's just her husband because the whole world revolves around her. My husband. It's like you guys, if you guys don't have an identity, you don't have a name, you are my viewers. No, you have a whole life, you have a whole identity. I'm just hopefully a part of it, you know? It's just so silly. It's so ridiculous. But not with Meghan. Everything revolves around Meghan. I've never seen anything quite like it before. But anyway, so she never referred to him by name, and the crowd was so faux shocked. It actually made it so cringe. It was almost funny, but awkward funny, you know? Anyway, so people are talking about this, so I pulled some comments about this as well. This article really doesn't, they say it goes after them. There's not much meat to it. It's just like, oh, look at that. He's acting now too. Agree. It was a phony whatever phone call from the two of them, but I assume this is just my opinion. They seem so hard up for any opportunity that they'll even take this, you know? Oh, how funny is that? Can you imagine going back to 2020 and saying, hey, guess what? Numbnuts and numbnuts. Oh my gosh. My brilliant friend started calling them Tweedledee and Tweedledumberton. And I'm like, oh, you're brilliant. So shall we call them that? Tweedledee and Tweedledumberton. So, yeah, I'd like to go back in time and tell Tweedledee and Tweedledumberton. Actually, I don't want to tell them. I want to watch it all play out as it has because it's freaking funny, you know, to watch this momentous downfall after the hell they have continued to cause for both of their families. I actually find this particularly funny. So let's not warn them. Let's just pop bigger bags of popcorn and sit back and watch, shall we? All right, let's read some comments from this because I found your comments very funny. Okay. Good grief. They're just insufferable. Yeah. Yeah. Very much that. Yeah, agree. All right. Hold on. I'm starting to think that they want to be insufferable. Being just controversial isn't enough anymore to get headlines. I actually think you're on to something, Miss Poi. I think you're right. Quite kind of them to support the tabloids and YouTubers. They surely made a lot of money. Maybe M&H also find a way to earn money besides trashing the royal family in the UK one day. Not so sure if being insufferable helps them. I find it funny, and hey, it's worked out. It's worked out great here. We've all found each other. Hallelujah. I'm glad. I mean, yeah, nobody forced them. I've been over it. Nobody forced them to say. I don't think anybody begrudges them leaving. It's just the way they've handled every single solitary thing since that everybody has issue with. Rightly so. All right. Taking the Kardashians as their model yet again, anything for attention. Yes, but I don't care about the Kardashians. I've been clear about that. I don't watch them. I really don't know much. The only little bit I know is they seem like they work hard. They always have a million projects going on. Can't say the same for Harry and Meghan. The Kardashians seem to print money somehow, whether I understand it or not. They're doing it. I acknowledge that. You know, I acknowledge the drive and the years of work at that. You know, whatever you might think, at least there's that. They've got a track record, I guess. So they've got some ballers. So more than Harry and Meghan have. So there's that. All right. She's trying to show how authentic they are. Isn't that funny? I find that funny too. The more she pushes this narrative of how authentic they are, the less authentic they appear. It's the same with everything. It's, I'm a mother. But the rest of us who actually are mothers and fathers and everything else and, you know, uncles and aunts and everything, we just are those things. We don't need to brag about it. I don't need to post everything I'm doing with my Gosling every day. I just do it as you're just doing your thing. It's just how it works. The more that she advertises things like that, the less credible, the less authentic, if you will. It feels the same with my husband. Oh, can't make any sense out of it, and not in a way that they'll ever understand it. I think because Markle is a narcissist, she is confounded as to why people don't fall for the shtick. It must be the ist words, right? They're calling it the isms, which I also like. I always say it's the ist words. Yeah, Yeah, I mean, I really think it all ties in together. Nothing is ever either of their fault. I don't know. I'm not trying to diagnose. I suspect she's a narcissist. I think he has narcissistic tendencies. I don't know if he's a narcissist or not. The more I read about him, the more I wonder. But regardless, I think it's interesting that I mean, they're their own worst enemies. They'll never learn from any of it, ever, because they'll never take any accountability. And you can't learn from that. I mean, look at Numbnuts right now. I mean, literally in real time, this court case, he lost, what was it, 97? I'm sorry. Let's just take a second and look at the wonderfulness of that. Was it like 97-0? I know I'm probably somewhere John Witherspoon is probably banging his head against the table because I'm not saying it correctly, but you get the idea. He lost like, was it 97 counts, something like that, with none in his favor. I thought for sure the judge would throw him one or two and he'd be like, I slayed dragons. But no, he got a big fat goose egg. And I hope they make an example out of him because he's already out there, as we know, talking crap, saying I'm not done, and basically calling the judge whatever. I'm paraphrasing here, but corrupt, whatever. Like, oh God! Before the judgment's even fully back, like the money judgment is back. I'm probably saying it wrong. You get the idea. I can't wait to see what happens. I can't wait. So again, check back because I will be back with what happens there. I just find this whole thing so funny. The self-appointed trolley. Yes, remember she called herself the world's biggest. What was it? The world's most trolled person. Okay, sure. Has become the troll, or not become, has been the troller. Hello. I think since the day, I mean, since before they left, but especially since leaving, because we don't really see the royal family speak out about them, but they can't shut up about the royal family. So, yeah, I don't think it's become. I think they are just exposing more of who they are, especially her acting look of surprise. Oh, yeah, I saw it was terrible that her husband called not a happy face, but a momentary full mass slip of rage. But she had to know it was about to happen. I think she just can't stand even a second of attention not being on herself. And I think that therein lies why we don't really see the kids very much. Because as you know, once you have kids, the attention fully goes to them, as it should be. Meghan didn't get that memo. She can't stand the thought of it. Another sinner on a different post thinks that this is because she's PO'd, that him being on the show was a non-negotiable if she wanted to be on it. I think that's great, and I hope that's the case. And it's not that I care a lick about him. I'm very Southern all of a sudden. I don't give a lick about him, but I would say I'd put her ego in check. She'll just blame misogyny for that. I don't know. I don't think it will, but I find it funny. All right, her voice was especially unbearable during the surprise. Oh my gosh. I watched several clips. It was not just during the surprise. There was also a segment where, I guess I've never watched MasterChef, but I've seen cooking shows. So they announce like, okay, contestants, you have an hour left. Okay, you have whatever, 20 minutes. So there was one part where they had, I guess one of the judges usually yells loudly, whatever, that, oh, you have however much time left. You have 30 minutes left. So they said, Meghan, do you want to do it? And she said, well, I don't like to yell, so I'll just go up and tell them. So she just went up and said, you have 30 minutes left. And the audience was like, oh, they said something like, she's so elegant. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Was it, do you call her elegant when she's like licking things at the table, when her tongue is like more out of her mouth than in her mouth, when her hair is in her food? Is this when we're elegant? Okay, you let me know when that is. What are we talking about here? Oh my gosh, it's so over the top. But I think that is very, very funny. That's a very good point. Okay. Just grating and awkward in general. The gross, faux, folksy persona she tried to project when trotting over to the chef. Yes, that was the segment. That's right. She was trotting over to them like, you have 30 minutes left. I don't like to yell. That's something she actually said. I would like, if you don't like to yell, Meghan, I would like to let all of your former employees out of their NDAs and just ask them that question. Hey, does Meghan like to yell? And I'd like to see what they have to say about that. You've got nothing to hide? Let them out of their NDAs. Let's ask them. Let's find out. And maybe it's one of those scary, quiet anger. I don't know. I would just like to know what the deal is. And if that's true, if she doesn't like to yell. So that's it for the articles. Now I'd like to feature What's the Goose Up, where I read some of your comments and talk about what you guys are talking about, because you have left me, you always leave me the greatest comments, but you've left me the best comments and I love them so much. So thank you all who leave me comments. Continue to do so and you might be featured in an episode of What's the Goose Up. Let's take a look and see what you guys are talking about. Spoiler alert, a lot of it has to do with the tongue. As I pointed out, she cannot keep her tongue in her head. It doesn't seem to fit right. It's so weird. Okay. So I showed you in the last video about 1,000 images of her eating things tongue for, I don't even want to reenact it, but she sticks her tongue out to eat things. I've never seen anything. I mean, my Gosling is single digits and she doesn't do that. I taught her when she was 2 years old. I just, most people understand by the time they go into kindergarten not to do that. It's so weird. But beyond that, it's just a lot of just tongue out, trying to be, you guys said sexy. I said maybe she's trying to be coquettish. I don't know, because she does a lot of, and I'm like, what's happening there? What is that? Anyway, so I want to read some of your comments about this because you're all making me laugh, starting with this one. Shout out to Red Rooster. Hi, Red. Snakes smell by flicking their tongues out. I thought that was such a funny comment. Thank you, Red. You are correct. I had a lot of people referencing snakes and lizards for some reason or another, right? All right. And then we have, let's make this bigger, Shannon Carter, who says, forget the tongue. Try the glares and the clear disinterest in anyone talking except for her. You know what? That is such a great point. I've definitely done videos about that before, about the blank stares and the scary stare she does at Catherine, and I don't know, the look she gives when it's not, it is funny because I always do the look at me, and then when it's not at her, it's a glare. So funny. My goodness. Good point, Shannon. Thank you so much for that. All right. Shout out to Coastal Lang 120. Notice how everyone called Meghan by her title. Then she just calls Harry H. She belittles his title to elevate hers. I thought this was such an interesting point because, so I always assumed, and I think a lot of us do, that she calls him her husband because it revolves around her. And also H to shorten, to take away his name, But this is an interesting approach. It's an underlining of her title and a diminishing of his. I guess I hadn't really phrased it like that, but I think you're onto something. I really do. I think this is a really smart point, and thank you for that. Well said. All right. And this one is Nancy. Hi, Nancy. Hong Kong friend. What is with the damn tongue? Oh, Nancy, I don't know. Nancy, I don't know. What's with the damn anything they do? I don't know. I can't answer that. I find it funny and kind of disgusting, but I don't know. I wish I knew. Hey, if you figure it out, you let me know. I'll just be sitting in the corner with my tongue hanging out. You let me know. Who knows? All right. Shout out to, oh goodness, I can't see that. What does that say? Quirky Old Bird. Great name. Oh, I love this one. She says, is she there to taste the food or test the air for contamination? As once again, the tongue is flickering around like it's a faulty light bulb. I think that is such a great description. Okay, let me show you guys something because I find this especially funny. Thank you, Quirky Old Bird. Can you see there? My flickering bulbs, those are on purpose to appear like candlelight. As soon as I read that comment, I could not stop laughing and thinking about, oh no, not my beautiful chandelier. Don't take that away from me. But yeah, such a good point. It's like a faulty light bulb. I think that is so funny and so well said. So that's going to do it for What's the Goose Up. Be sure you're leaving your comments. You might be featured in an upcoming episode. Thank you guys so much for that. And yeah, I can't wait to to read more of your comments, especially after all this nonsense, especially after we find out how much Harry's going to owe. I can't wait. I'm saying Harry, I get it. It's a group, but still, people are wondering, like, will Elton John just cover it? I wouldn't think so. Will King Pa cover it? I sure as heck hope not. How else is Numbnuts going to learn? He'll never learn. He's already talking about continuing on. How's that going to go? How's that? Yeah, okay, sure. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys so much for being here. Check back lots. As we find out more, I'll be back talking about it. Might not be on my regular schedule, but I almost said scheduled program, but my regular schedule. But as soon as we find out stuff, I'll be talking about it. So check back lots. Thank you guys so much for all your love and all your support. Because of you, I'm about to hit 5 million views in 28 days. You guys are incredible. Just incredible. I'm the luckiest lady goose that I'm just the luckiest. Thank you. You're the best flock I could ask for. You really are. Thank you for everything. You mean the world to me. If you want to further support the show, there's several ways you can do it. Click around on my Amazon link. It is linked down in the comments below. Check that out. And you'll find things like my lighting setup, my lipstick, my microphone, things like that. Check that out. What else? Check out my Patreon. What I just about to say, I don't know. Check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. It's my old name, but it's got all my stuff, all my bonus material, tons of new stuff, hundreds of videos over there. If you're not sick of me yet, you'll get sick of me over there. $5 a month gets you access to the full catalog. And you can also sign up to become an executive producer. A huge thank you to all my executive producers. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you to everybody who supports me over there. That's going to do it for me. I hope you all had the best day, and I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this. Take care. Stay healthy. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. Hello. Oh, you guys are the best. I cannot believe I'm about to hit 5 million in 28 days. I am the happiest of happy geese. This glow is because of you all. It's because of this flock, because of this thing we've built together. I'm so happy. I'm working out so hard. I'm working on my book. Just a lot of good things in my life. And it's because of you all and all of your love and support. I truly could not do this without you. I would be talking to myself, which I often do. So sincerely, thank you all so much. And I appreciate you all so much. All right, that's going to do it for me. I hope you all had the best day. And oh, yeah, I'm golden today. I love this look. I think it's so fun. And then I put a little pin on my shirt. It's a Ralph Lauren pin, but it's got a crown. I thought it was so cool. All right, that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys have the best day. Take care of yourself. Stay healthy. I'll talk to you again soon. I'll be back when we find out what's going on with Harry. All right, take care. Bye-bye. My chair is squeaky. All right, bye. Oh, if you want to comment how much you think Harry's going to be on the hook for, please let me know. Please. And again, I'm saying Harry, the whole group. You can say numbers, whatever you want. You can say how much you think Harry will owe. If you think Harry will be stuck paying it, if somebody else will pay it for me, let me know all that. All right, take care. Bye.